Welcome back. Now, the National Organization of Parents in Education, NAOPE, will have their official launch under the theme Parents Striving for Equitable Quality Education for All, the Kavango East Regional Council. Now, the organization was registered as a non-profit making parents union that is operated by dedicated parents who strive for a fair access to high quality education for children as enshrined in Article 20, Sub-Article 1 of the Namibian Constitution. Joining us with more on this launch is the Interim Vice President of NAOPE, Sitoka, and the Communication and Information Public Secretary for NAOPE, Salome Kambala. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for making time to speak to us this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us, and good morning, Namibia.
It's our pleasure to host you. Perhaps maybe, Mr. Interim Vice President, let me start with you as of what led to the creation and formation of NAOPE, and what are some of the gaps that you noticed in the education system setup that led you to think that there's a need for NAOPE to exist?
Thank you, Lord, for that question. Maybe let me just briefly just start in terms of introducing the organization. The National Organization of Parents in Education, or in short NAOPE, was officially registered with BIPA in 2023 under Section 21, of course, as a non-profit and a political organization. And the primary mandate was is really to equip and empower parents to actively and effectively to participate in the education of their children. And you know, when we look at education, it's always likened to a three-legged pot. And really the creation of NAOPE was to bring balance to the pot. You know, in terms of the other sister organization, we see already that in terms of the learners, they are already represented by organizations such as NANSO. And when you look at the teachers, they are represented by NAN2 and the other also organizations. And we thought that it's quite you know, imperative for us to create a platform which will create sort of like a stage for parental involvement in education.
Perhaps talking about that, being a parent union, and how then does NAOPE perhaps plan to actively involve parents in shaping the quality of education? I mean, ensuring, you said that it's a three-legged pot. Where do the parents then fit in this three-legged pot?
Yes, they fit in terms of, as our mandate says, is really to equip and empower. When we look at the Education Act 16 of 2001, for example, it gives provision for participation of parents through the school boards. And currently, one of the challenges that we have realized in education is awareness and capacity. Is that we have, for example, involvement, of course, of school board, but we still see there's a challenge in terms of capacity for them to fully understand their responsibilities to actively and positively execute their mandate in the respective schools. We see that there is an opportunity for us now to be able to empower them and equip so that they can understand to fully engage in terms of the education programs and uplift our education in the country.
Now, Madam Salome Kambala, let's talk about how NAOPE interprets especially the rights that are laid out in Article 20, Sub-Article 1 of the Namibian Constitution, and how will you advocate for the enforcement of these rights that are laid out?
Article 20 speaks about quality education within our educational facilities. And for us at NAOPE, we've realized that it's a good idea if parents are pushed to get involved in the education of their children. Gone are the days where children goes to school and parents relax at home without getting involved in the children school work. And therefore, NAOPE have realized that for quality education that is spoken in Article 20, for it to come to pass, we need a package of parents are involved, teachers are involved, students are involved. Then we have got a molded package towards a Namibian child's education. So we have similarity so much to the Article 20, which speaks of government to make sure that they are introducing quality educations among all the Namibian schools. And therefore, it's the idea which NAOPE would like now to strengthen so that we speak with one voice when it comes to our children's education.
Let's perhaps talk about the kind of support and resources that NAOPE will offer to parents across the different regions in the country.
The type of support that NAOPE will provide, we would like to look into even training so that parents are educated and they carry awareness on what NAOPE wants to achieve. To speak to them about policies of education among our communities through organizing workshops so that parents understand exactly what is the education in this country meant to do.
Very well. Now, Mr. Sitoka, let's talk about what inspired the theme for this launch, which is parents striving for an equitable quality education for all.
Yes, equitable education, it's really we trying to advocate for a place where there is an ensuring of that individuals get excellent education, you know, excellent education for all, irregardless of their social or personal circumstances. That is really fair. And it's also to recognize that different people, you know, grow up and come from different, you know, areas. It is that for us to ensure that now we drive that there is also equitable in terms of resource distribution, that every Namibian get that opportunity to succeed. And that is really what we are saying, that if, how do we ensure that, you know, every Namibian child, everybody gets that opportunity.
I'm glad you mentioned that, perhaps, and briefly,
Yes.
when you talk about equitable quality education, perhaps for those that might be watching, and specifically parents, since you said they might not be aware, you want to expose them to all this kind of resources available.
Yes.
When we say challenges with regards to equitable quality education, with regards that parents and learners are facing, what do we mean?
It ranges from socio, you know, economic challenges. It ranges to total well-being of the child. When we say that, you know, education to ensure that the child is wholly, you know, right in terms of mental health, you know, being at home and being at school. And also to look at in terms of skill-based education, you know, that fosters the right career opportunities for our children. And I think the bottom line is also to strengthen, you know, that the relationship between home-school relationship, because as in African culturally, we are coming from a concept of community parenting. And the concept of community parenting, especially in the 21st century, it's one that is really endangered, that is really fading away. We want to strengthen that, that relationship is, the home-school relationship is strengthened in terms of to ensure that children are in the right state of mind when they go to school, that they have the resources, they are, you know, healthy and safety. You know, recently there has been also an issue that is coming up in terms of the health and safety aspects of our children, that if a community base comes in terms of parental involvement, that is something that we can also try and see. How can we hold hands together to ensure that we have the right?
Indeed, we have seen those regrettable stories of food poisoning, especially when it comes to our learners. Madam Salome, let's talk about perhaps some of the key goals for NAOPE that it aims to achieve within its first year of operations. What are some of those key targets?
NAOPE would like to achieve really an understanding with parents. Parents, to make sure that we advocate so much the role they should be able to play in our children's progress. For example, if you are a parent at home and you send your children to school, it should not be the end road, just for them going to school and leave it in the hands of the teacher. What we would like to see is, from the level of home, parents must be involved in the children's school so that they can be able to achieve good result. Because when they go to school, the teachers would be able to be with them at the level of school. But when they come back home, if a parent is not well equipped on how they can be able to get involved in the education, even in checking homeworks, at the level of homework, even the basics, like for example, to say, who is your teacher's name? What is the name of your teacher? Parents don't know. What are your class? Even grade. Some of the parents are very reluctant to get information from their children, and eventually establish that relationship between parents, teachers, students themselves, and then even the school board, so that these 4 items is indeed corroborating and working together.
So it's to ensure that the disconnect and those that feel disempowered are involved in the process. They, again, goes back to your concept. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. Perhaps maybe, Mr. Sitoka, I can close with you. Give us a brief background on what is due to take place at the official launch at the Kavango Regional East Council. When is the launch expected to take place? Who are some of the key speakers that we anticipate at the launch?
Thank you a lot for that. Yes, there was the launch that was actually scheduled. It was scheduled to take place tomorrow, the 12th of September. And it was supposed to be officiated by the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Elijah Ngurari. Unfortunately, due to circumstances that is beyond that the launch could no longer take place tomorrow, but it's scheduled to a later date, to which we will communicate to all our stakeholders in due course. And really, I just want to use this opportunity to call on the parents. It doesn't matter whether you are a parent yourself or you're raising, and this is really a call to all Namibian parents and those who consider themselves to be parents, or that to come and join NAOPE. And this is really an opportunity that in moments in times like this, it is really important for parents to be involved in the education of our children. And as we are saying that we are coming on board to really look at in terms of how do we hold hands with our government. We have seen that from policy, from the acts. We have good policies, we have good act that is giving prevention, but how do we make sure that we are implementing on the ground? It will require all of us to come on board to ensure that we are holding hands with our government, with our education system, to make sure that we make it a reality and successful. So yeah, I think I will give Ms. Salome to give in terms of our contacts for those who want to join, for how do we participate and how do we become members, in terms of just to for those who want to get even more information.
Thank you. For those who would like to have more information about NAOPE and even about the launch tomorrow, they can contact me. My number is 081-823-0856. I will repeat the number again, 081-823-0856. I can be able to guide them on how they can be able even to join NAOPE. But the most important thing is tomorrow is the launch, and we would like all the parents to come and listen. And once they are there, we can also now inform them how they can be able to join NAOPE as an organization.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for making time to speak to us this morning.
Thank you very much for having us.
Okay.
Yeah.